Moving on to another topic, in terms of dealing with your creditors during a financial crisis. Obviously we touched a little bit already on the idea of deferring payments, and obviously that would require a conversation with your creditors. What things are you hearing, and what sort of advice are you giving to the people that give us a call about how to deal with their creditors during this period of time?
Well, I'll speak to that, Wes. I mean, when I think of sort of dealing with creditors during a financial crisis, beyond trying to communicate with creditors and sort of work cooperatively, this is why I would say that, for those that are unable to do that, Leah referenced earlier, that we still are seeing people who've the garnishment has already begun. Right. And they were already behind in their bills. And so for people who are truly in a financial crisis, and those, when I say truly in a financial crisis, we're talking about people that are not able to work with their creditors. And so we are still seeing people who are choosing to file for bankruptcy. Typically, those would be folks that maybe aren't working and they're on, CERB or employment insurance or whatever the case may be. And folks that are still working are I'm seeing mainly filing a consumer proposal. But, luckily, even through physical distancing, our regulator has given us the flexibility to be able to still service these individuals and help them file a bankruptcy or proposal, even though we are physically distancing. So, I'm having a meeting with a client in a similar fashion, just by video conference and sometimes by phone, and we can still provide service to those who are in a financial crisis.
It's a very stressful time for people already, with the fear of illness and social distancing and loneliness, being alone at home now for those people who were previously out in the public regularly socializing. Add to that financial stress, and I think we're going to see a lot of people who have already contacted their creditors and tried to manage and try to come up with a plan to either defer payments or pay interest only. And like you say, Lana, luckily our regulator has allowed us to remotely provide service to individuals who can't pay their debts. And I think that one of the benefits is the stress relief. We step in and we assist them with a payment arrangement through a proposal or through a bankruptcy. And we relieve that stress and we allow them an opportunity to start budgeting and managing their money in a way that isn't, every penny going towards interest and debt repayment. They can now focus on, budgeting for groceries and emergencies and such. And we can do that for people, and we deal with the creditors. We are the ones that step in and in a way are mediating, or like a referee between them and the creditors. I certainly encourage people to deal with their creditors on their own, to apply for all of the benefits that are available through the government, and to try to defer payments if necessary. But when they've exhausted all those other options, we, the professionals, the licensed insolvency trustees, we're here to help them with the other solutions.
That's great. Leah, no, those are excellent points. I think that we certainly provide that relief, that service, or at least someone that they can talk to get an idea of what their options are. And that's really important. And I think even at the beginning of the conversation, Lana touched on the point that, I think at least initially, staying in touch with your creditors and reaching out to them and looking for some accommodation on their part is a good idea to start with. And if at some point a person feels that they can't do that any longer, then definitely speaking to a professional like a licensed insolvency trustee would be a good option. But certainly right now, I think more people would probably feel less hesitant to reach out to their creditors, because clearly there's a very good reason why a lot of people are having financial difficulty right now with COVID-19. So it's not perhaps as embarrassing to have to call your creditors and ask for some accommodation on their part.
Yeah, for those who have maybe been pushed over the edge and they were already on the edge, and now COVID-19 has forced them over the edge, I think that they're probably already applying for things like the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit and EI and the temporary increase in child tax benefit. But that is only going to help a percentage of the population who who can manage during these times because they had savings or they don't have an overbearing debt load. But those that came into this situation with a debt load, I think we need to consider what options they have. For example, a bankruptcy or a proposal. Even a debt consolidation through the bank may not be an option right now, because if they have lost their job, the bank may not be willing to fund them. And if they're looking to apply for new credit, that might not be possible for them.